podcast. It's your boy Manny,
It's your boy Sean.
and welcome to the show. Um, Today, Friday, we got some stuff to talk about. Absolutely, we got some stuff to talk about. Like I told you before, we are in football season, so we are in the season of football, and we're really focusing on football. And I ain't gonna lie, there's been a couple major things that happened from the time from Wednesday up to now, and so let's just dive right into it. You want to start it, raw brother, or should I?
You started off, brother.
Well, like I said yesterday on the short video, I know a lot of people have their own comments about what I said in the video. I know because I've been seeing it, and so but a lot of things has transpired. What's up, Drew? What's going on, bro?
Yo,
But
bro.
a lot of things have been transpired, especially including the running backs market this whole entire week. We seen Jonathan Taylor got paid his money, well, and we seen B. John Robinson got his money, and then not to mention later on yesterday, uh, we saw Jamar Gibbs getting his money as well. Um, Sean, in your perspective, man, what what this whole entire week kind of shown you, or have what kind of perspective did you have by this week with the contract extension with these running backs, or just running backs in general, on what is the future of running back market, and is it going to continue to go high, or you know what I mean?
I would say the future is looking bright for running backs. I mean, for the longest, running backs have always been undervalued, always not being paid the money they deserve, especially because a lot of people feel like they can do a running back by committee, meaning they can have multiple running backs that can do the same thing as one. Um,
Hmm.
Now, the one thing I won't say that is gonna be like that for every running back because I feel like a lot of running backs that's getting paid like that are running backs that can do it all. A lot of these running backs either you can do it all, meaning you can run the ball, catch the ball, and block, or you're really like that guy on your team.
Mm,
Um, I don't know how many teams will commit to having only one running back because of the wear and tear that they say running backs get.
mm,
Um, but I will say it does look bright as of right now. I think you will see more running backs get contracts like this. I think a player like Jeremiah Love, if everything pans out, he'll get a contract like this. Ashton Genty, if everything pans out, he'll get a contract like this. So it's definitely looking bright. I know you said it started with Saquon. So I mean, it's just gonna keep going from there. I mean, I can't see it going back low. I don't see them going low or staying at the same price. All I can see is up.
solid point. Yeah, man, I kind of agree with you a little bit. I feel like that when it comes to these running backs and the con and the directory that there is heading when it comes to the running back market, it's definitely is nothing but sky high after this. And I think after when you look at what transpired this week, this should gives a encouragement to future running backs, that are in college and they have a special gift, like you said before, like those running backs can be like those type of running backs, like an all around type running back. And so when you see some running backs that are young kids coming out straight out of college that are special and gifted like that, that's something to be happy about, because because the running backs that they got paid now, in the future, they're going to just continue to keep that market going up and up and up, because of that type of special skill running back that they are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Um, I think, yeah, like when it comes to that, it's definitely going to go higher, and you should expect nothing less. When you talk about regular running backs and stuff like that, I feel like that they'll probably, you know, get close a little bit in that range a little bit, or at least have like in the feeling of it, but it's not gonna be as like that type of numbers, that Gibbs and Bijan and stuff like that. I'm talking about probably like 15, 16, 17 million dollars. Probably regular running backs will probably getting. If they're not like an all around type running backs, at probably 18 million. But when you talk about like all around running backs and the future for all around running backs, um, it's gonna go higher. I mean, yesterday it just went up to 22.5 just by Jamar Gibbs, and so I think Jeremiah Love, if he go ahead and show his true athlete ability, and him being that all around running back, he can probably hit for that number from 22.5 million dollars to about $25 million. And the same thing for the other running back as well. And so, I think when you look at the perspective of everything with the running back and where it is heading and how that running backs for so long has been really been um, uh, not valued enough because of um, there wasn't they were saying that running backs were not was not really a value type position enough for you to take it seriously to increase that market in that certain type of position. And now all the changes you look at now, and the changes has been completely different. You know what I mean? I'm very very happy for running backs. You know what I mean? Because they once said that there was no point of you buying, there's no point of you investing so much in running backs and stuff like that. Now you actually starting to see that running backs, not only now but in they're set a stage for the future for other running backs that are in college and probably and 9 times 10 will come out the league and set that standard and continue to keep on growing. And so this is a phenomenal thing for running backs markets. I guess depending on how you look at it, but when you talk about all around running backs or just running backs, but I think either way, whether you are all around running back or you're not, um, um, your salary won't go as the same. It will go a little bit higher. So it might not go as higher as the all around running backs, the gifted generational running backs, but um, you know, at the end of the day, they will still value you because of the market of the running backs, and so that's definitely beneficial. And I'm very very happy that running backs are getting finally getting the respect they deserve.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that for running backs as regular. I ain't gonna say that for them because I do think that they will still get probably undervalued because they're not seen as like impact guys. They're seen more as like rotational pieces. But as far as like the main attraction guys, those elite running backs, they are definitely gonna see a pay raise.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, it'd be because yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like it's more beneficial for those type of running backs, with the market that it's on now and how it's continuing to go up. Then then you say like a regular running back that's not really a guy that's they can make an impact, but not crazy impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And
you
then
said,
again, when you look at those top running backs that's getting paid and resetting the markets that they are, they're setting high standards. Every
hmm
single like you said it started with Saquon. Saquon had 2,000 yards.
yeah,
So it's like these are high standards. It's not like you're gonna be able to just be a good running back and just get a pay raise like this. You gotta really be elite. You gotta really be special.
yeah,
Jameer and Bijan, they basically do everything for their team. Like they do everything between running and receiving, and you could just tell how different they are. So I mean, who else? Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan
yeah,
Taylor was having a year last year, if I'm not mistaken.
crazy, yeah,
So
crazy, yeah.
it's like you gotta do have a special year or at least put together a great couple years coming out of college.
Well,
So
you gotta be that type of player that you're too too of a special player to become a very valuable piece into the franchise. That's like that. Without this piece, we ain't gonna really go as far. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at the example of kind of Saquon Barkley. I mean, not using the example in Philadelphia, but I'm talking about using the example in the Giants. I mean, the only difference is they pay him. But I'm just trying to give, I'm trying to give you an example that like with Saquon, for real, he made a whole greater impact in the New York Giants because everybody had their eyes on him because they knew that the only weapon in the Giants was Saquon. I mean, they had other pieces of the puzzle, but their main eyes were Saquon Barkley because back in the day he was cooking. He was cooking. He was like bringing. Sometimes he was not. Sometimes a lot of times he was carrying that team around his back. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
not a
so,
lot of times, all the time.
okay, all the time,
And carry that team.
all the time, man. And then you see the result, with the Giants, they didn't pay him because they thought that his value wasn't like that because they were looking at statistics, but they wasn't looking at the reality and what he was bringing to the table. And so, guys like that. That's why I said I just hope that you know that like when Saquon Barkley was in the position of Green Bay, I'm not Green Bay and the Giants. I hope those running backs don't fall into that same position, don't same predicament. But it seems like it's not because the running back market demands respect. So
Yeah. I was gonna say the thing that hurt Saquon wasn't his statistics because Saquon was still putting up good numbers. What hurt him was injuries. They
right,
didn't want to pay Saquon because they felt like it was no need to pay somebody that got injured every year. So that's what hurt him. And then you seen ever since he left the Giants, he's been injury free.
yeah,
So I mean, it's the chance you take. Sometimes the organization who messes up the player. But I definitely think we will see more running backs reset the market. I think Ashton
mhm.
Genty and Jeremiah Love, especially Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty is next up when it
Yeah,
comes
no
to
doubt.
reset the market. I mean, but Ashton Genty has to prove it in these next couple years.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I understand 100% what you um talking about, and I believe that he will. And I believe that he will. Jesse, he will prove it. You know what I mean? But let us know how you feel about the running backs and about Jamar Gibbs getting paid, about Bijan Robinson getting paid, Jonathan Taylor getting paid. What is your perspective on running backs getting the bag, getting the paper? Do you think do you like it? Do you dislike it? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear you. We want to hear your ideas and your thoughts, and we want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Make sure you put your comments down and put your likes up. And that being said, we were talking about running backs and contract extensions, and running back market, but that wasn't the only thing that happened. That's not the only news for real, for real. My brother, we had a first preseason game last night, and when I tell you, man, it was a thriller. I watched that joint from start to finish, brother. I was like, oh my god. I was like, yeah, football is back. I'm telling you, boy, it was hot, man. It was real good. Um, um, it was getting real hot out there in Canyon, Ohio. But yeah, it was Carolina Panthers and Arizona Cardinals. I mean, you look at statistics right now behind Sean that tells you everything you need to know that it was a really competitive game. Um, Sean, in your opinion, which quarterback last night were you most impressed by, and why?
The quarterback I was most impressed by was Haynes King. Um, I it's for me seeing Carson Beck is not surprising because I expect Carson Beck to be a good quarterback. I expect Carson before injury. Carson Beck was supposed to be a first round pick. Carson Beck led his team last year to the national championship. Carson
Mm-hmm.
Beck has all the talent in the world. So seeing Carson Beck go out there and do that is like I wasn't surprised. But when you talk about Haynes King came from Georgia Tech. What Haynes King was doing in college was a lot of running. You would see him run the ball a lot as a quarterback. Yesterday we see him actually use his arm. I seen a lot of great throws from him. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
great throws, a lot of great ball placement, on time, accuracy. I was very impressed for him to get that game winning drive as well. Haynes King showed me that he can be a quarterback in this league. If not a starter, at least he could be a backup. At the very least, I would feel confident in him coming to back up my starting quarterback because he showed me that he can. He got that dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 3 touchdowns. He was, like I said, accurate. I was very impressed. I wasn't really expecting anything from Haynes King. Honestly, I wasn't expecting him to go off the way he did. But to
Mm-hmm.
see how he did it, to see he did it at like crucial times. He didn't seem bothered. He seemed like he was ready for the pressure. Haynes King is the quarterback that really surprised me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I agree with you 100%. I think Haynes King was definitely was the most impressed quarterback. Let me go back to Carson Peck real quick. Carson Peck, man, he was literally on he was on his money yesterday. Even though he was talking about that he was playing was tough in college and everything like that. I'm not even gonna lie, I was kind of nervous about Carson Peck because of the way that people was viewing him, about the fact that during training camp he wasn't looking that too good. And
Hmm.
so it was kind of like an eyebrow. It's like, okay, all right, what's going on with Carson Peck? You know, lo and behold, he came in the game and really put on a show. And definitely that's something as an Arizona, you know, if you're an Arizona fan, that's something you should be excited about. Because I had an eyebrow, and we all had an eyebrow about what was going on with Carson Beck. Did he understand the offense? Is he slow a little bit when it comes to the training camp and everything like that, trying to follow the offensive playbook? Um, you know what I mean? Because he really had a struggle training camp, and so I was kind of impressed by Carson because I was like, oh wow, he did really came out and really you know showed up and showed out. You know what I mean? We knew Carson Peck was a guy that that can play ball, absolutely a guy that can play ball, but everybody had questions to see. Well, first of all, I mean when you look at him when he was ranked. You know what I mean? The way that he was ranked in the draft, it was viewed that he was going to be the franchise quarterback, and it was just showing that he was going to be a backup. You know what I mean? And so I think with Carson Peck, he definitely shined last night for sure. Um, I think with a little bit more development, and stuff like that, and him growing as a player, he could be a really good quarterback. I think he is already a good quarterback already, but I'm talking about in the National Football League. So I mean that was one of the impressive things that I read about Carson Beck. That was um, he wasn't looking on too good last week, and then turned around and just made a whole transformation last night. And so that was the thing I was kind of impressed by. And so I was leaning towards Carson Peck, but also St. Nicky Bull Haynes King. First of all, I didn't know who the hell that guy was. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I didn't know who the hell that guy was. I was like, okay, who is this guy? And so I kept watching them, man. I mean, like you said, we all didn't expect that whole entire thing, that type of performance with Haynes King. First of all, I didn't even know him. And he went out and he showed up and he showed out. And it was crazy because the game kept going back and forth, like the whole entire game, bro. It was throwing dimes. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, this really this really it felt like it felt like a real game, no cap. It really
Yeah,
felt like a game. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I said, let me tell you this, I gotta stay up, see what's going on. Like they was dropping 30 points on the board, man. And you know what I mean? Like, usually preseason, sometimes they drop about 15, probably 20, the max. You know what I mean? 24 or 30.
hmm
I was like, oh man, like that was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that was a really thriller joint. And then hey, you see Hayes at the last minute, I think with 8 seconds and stuff like that. It took it to House himself, um, to win the winning touchdown and stuff. I think when you think about Haynes King, um, I think he gave a lot of people attention to say, okay, we gotta um uh let us know who this guy is. You know what I mean? Now, do I think that he's going to be a starter? No, but I do believe he's going to make the team. I do believe he's going to be a backup. Um, I think when you look at the two quarterbacks between Haynes and King, it's kind of like, you know, in Carolina side, they kind of like already established with quarterback, with Bryce Young and everything like that. So
yeah,
even if Haynes King was dropping down crazy numbers all through preseason, I think it wouldn't change the fact that they would not they will not bench Bryce Young and still, you know what I'm saying? But I think, with Carson Peck, I think if he continue this, during out the the preseason and continue to improve, he could during the season start. So,
hmm
I think it was a great start for Carson Peck, especially when people were doubting him, and you know what I mean, saying that is he really a starting quarterback in the league. I think that was a heck of a response last night for Carson Peck, but both of them did a phenomenal job.
hmm I agree.
You know what I mean? But um, but yeah, let us know what you think about the thrillers last night between Haynes King and Carson Peck. Um, what do you like? What did you dislike? We want to hear from you and everything like that. Um, this was a really great game, and what a way to kick off uh, kick off the season. And so yeah, we had our first preseason game last night. But there's more news that came in yesterday as well. Besides playing the football game, we had Tampa Bay GM was in an interview or was talking to the media, whatever the case may be, claiming that he refused to trade uh, um, Vinatieri. That's his name, right? Vita Vinatieri.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, uh, so on your perspective, man, what's next for him?
Um, I feel like they're gonna have to give him the money. I feel like they don't have no choice because I feel like if they don't give him the money, Vita Vea is just not gonna play.
Right.
So just because you say that you're not gonna trade him doesn't mean that he has to play. He'll find you. I mean, we've seen a lot of players do it. They fake injuries and say that they can't do it. You can't tell them you can't say he's lying. So I think I think Vita Vea is gonna sit out until he get the money that he deserves. There's a lot of bad things going on in that franchise though between Vita Vea and Baker Mayfield.
Right.
I mean, I think I read something about them saying that they might put him on a franchise tag, but I ain't get to read the full article, so I don't know 100%. So it's like if your players are not happy, you're setting a bad culture around your organization. And if the culture around your organization is you're not going to pay your superstars, who's going to really want to come and be a Buccaneer in the future?
Right.
whether that's free agency or if that's you trying to like keep your team together. Who's gonna actually want to play if you're not willing to pay them when they want to get paid, like, if they, and especially if they deserve it.
One word came up to mind when I heard about this. Sad, real sad. It's sad that those type of people in the NFL, owners and all that type of stuff, and GMs, they feel like that they got some type of hold on these players. I mean, they do, but you know what I mean. And the fact that they use that to um, take advantage of them, you know what I mean, and play with their money and play with their livelihood. It's just very, very sad. It's very, very sad. When you talk about the situation that's going on with him with Minigata, he is one of the best out there defensive tackle right now in the league. He demands his money. He deserves his money. Why are you messing around with him? Why are you playing ring around the rosy with this man? Same thing with Baker Mayfield. You said that they probably not out of time will franchise tag him, but I guarantee you, if that happens, Baker, this gonna be the last time Baker gonna be in a Tampa Bay uniform. And I said that on the video, because that's unacceptable. Um, but it's not even just Tampa that be doing this. It be other franchises. Like when you look at Jerry Jones, he does the same thing. You look at other teams around around the league as these billion dollar owners and these GMs just just so selfish and so greedy, and they don't want to pay the players because they want to keep their profit or to keep their revenue of money, or they want to use it for something else, but not for the value of the person or the player. Um, you know, I feel like that the Eagles always set the standard about taking care of their players. That's why you see them as number one, a first class team. You have never heard any story or any controversy of Philadelphia taking advantage of players. I haven't heard anything. You know what I mean? And that comes with character as well. That comes with character because if you can't take care of your players, because that's kind of like basically, like when you're owning a business. You own a business, you're an owner, and those players, they're kind of like your employees, and you treating them like trash. Okay, they're going to be taking a stand, or they're not going to do the job right the way that you wanted to do it, or the way you asked to do it. They're going to have a fast ass job, and you can't blame them because you're not giving them what they deserve. You feel
Mhm.
me? And so, I'm cracking up. So the hair, and so
Yeah,
as a result, yeah, and so as a result, man, it's just sad how they just do players all around all around. They think they can do franchise tags and stuff like that and get like some type of hold on these guys, and it's really really sad and it's disappointing, and it just shows the character that those people got, and that's why they'll never get a hit, and they're never going to you're never going to see players, good players, be in that organization, because of how they treat them. You know what I mean? Basically, I don't mean to go into the Bible and stuff like that, but treat others the way you want to be treated. That's real. Treat others with respect and stuff like that. That's real. And I think we live in this world today, where it's a lot of greediness. There's a lot of greediness, and there's no sharing. And not only that, it's just a lot of robbing, a lot of just a lot of taking stuff. And when you deal with people and players that put their body on the line on a constant basis, brother, on a constant basis, you know what I mean? And they performing, and they're for real, they are the spotlight because they are making you relevant. You're not doing anything. All you're doing is just in the skybox watching them work. You know what I mean? They are the players that are going out there and putting their body on the line. They are the players that are going out, showing their talents and stuff like that. That's why it's really hard to find people around you. I'm not. That's why it's very important to have people around you that really care and appreciate about what you have. You know what I mean? It's not just football, but life. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you don't find nobody that don't truly value who you are, what you bring to the table, or show how much you matter, they're gonna chew you up and spit you out, and don't give a damn. I mean, we see it right now in football. You know what I'm saying? And it just don't go about sports. It has to go about life in general. And so, it's just real sad about what's transpired, about what's going on. But it's not just in Tampa. It's all the way around. And you know what I mean. And these $1 billion guys keep forgetting that without these players, you wouldn't be where you at right now. You know what I mean. And so I don't know, man. It's just that's the one thing word that comes to mind, and it's sad, and also because the players, because I think they really need. I think the players really need to go and really protest about this and really make a stand because they don't really have no rights for real, for real. Once you sign that contract, you know what I mean. You basically got to do whatever the heck they say. You know what I mean. But I feel like that the players do need to have some rights. They
Yeah,
should
I ain't
have
gonna.
a stand.
I don't think that part is 100% true because I mean we've seen players hold out for their money. I mean
Yeah, I know, but
we seen Bijan and Jameer hold out until they got paid. We seen Micah hold out until he got traded. We seen I mean we see it all the time. So yeah, these players are under contract and they're expected to do a job, but if they feel a certain type of way and if they're not getting what they want, they will make a stand for themselves. No, don't get it
uh,
twisted. It's not like they
uh,
going to just give in. They'll make a stand.
And look here, and I would do the same thing. I agree with you 100%. But you got guys like Jerry Jones that be playing that whole card. Oh, our franchise tag you, our franchise tag you. Even though he's supposed to be paying these guys, you do that same crap. And it ain't just George Pickens. He did it to Michael Parsons. He did it to all the other stars, cowboy stars back in the day. That's why he is what he is today. Well, that's why he can't win nothing because he's so selfish and treat their players like trash because of the type of character he is. It's bad business. It's just bad business all the way around. You know what I mean? And so, nobody want to be around that. I feel like that. Your character um is everything. Is everything. It don't matter how much money you got. I don't care. You could be a billionaire and you have no character whatsoever. You feel me? And so,
Mm.
like, it just goes to show what these guys up there, the higher ups or the execs or the owners or whatever case may be, where their mentality is. And it's just sad that they know that the players that they have is very valuable players and they deserve their money, and yet you're still playing around with them. Um, and instead of you playing around with them, you say, "Oh, listen here, you deserve this money. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We value you, and we're going to give you this money." They don't do that. Instead, they want to go ahead and do whatever, saying all types of the other excuse, and then they get mad when that player holds out or wherever the case may be because they don't get their money because they're not getting their money. It's just sad. Period. It's just sad. It's just sad how the whole NFL like owners and stuff like that, and how they like orchestrate their whole entire franchise with players and like the whole organization, how they structured it. It's just sad. It's just really really sad. It's just sad, bro. No cap.
Yeah, he was very passionate about that, brother.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, man. Yeah, I know. But it's just, but you know, what I mean, it's like you hear stories about this all the time. A lot of like this all the time. It's like it's like things that's going on in like with their situation. You can relate to life. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's just a terrible situation. It's a terrible, bad, bad all the way around. And everything start with the inside. In your heart. And if your heart ain't right, bro, like you're gonna be a effed up person. I can't say the whole word, but because I want to say it, but I can't. But you're gonna be an effed up person, and people won't respect you. You know what I mean? People won't respect you, and you got people like what's his name, James Harden. That what last time I think because I think Daryl Morey promised him money and stuff like that, lied to
Mm-hmm.
him. This dude went to China. This dude went to China and said,
Yeah.
"Yo, don't trust Daryl Morey. He's a liar," and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just crazy. It's just really crazy. It's just really crazy how things transpired and what people do with players and stuff like that. And just because you have that, and just because you have that right or certain things that you have as an owner that you can do, you know what I mean. A lot of them take advantage of it. A lot of them take advantage of it because they don't want to give them what they truly owe, what they truly um you know deserve.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, I
word,
mean, bro,
deserve.
that's just the business of it, bro. That's never gonna change.
Yeah,
I don't care who it is. That's just never gonna change.
yeah, I know. That's what I said. It's just sad. I mean, because it's the reality, and that's how the business work and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, but that doesn't mean that even if it's how it works, it still don't make it right. So
No, I understand that, bro. I'm just saying, bro.
yeah.
That's something that's going to be there forever, no matter what sport it is. That's just.
Yeah, I just hope that guys like those other guys, that they feel like that they're getting, wrong and stuff like that. That they're getting screwed over. To stand for themselves. And look at him, he's doing that. And I'm pretty sure that he's gonna be in a stand. He's gonna be in a standoff pretty soon. It's gonna happen. So, you know, you guys, what do you think about the whole entire situation with Tampa um let us know how you feel. About what's going on with Tampa with Baker and everything like that. And that being said, we're going to jump from Tampa to San Francisco. Now, San Francisco 49ers during training camp, it's been almost 2 weeks, a little bit about a week and a half of training camp, and you have 25 people that are listed as an injury on IR. Um, and people still getting hurt. They still getting hurt.
Mhm.
Um, uh, my question is, Sean, what is next for the 49ers?
Restart the whole team, restart the whole organization. The 49ers are done. They're done. There's no other way to break it, bro. I mean, they're done. There's no way that you get hurt every single week. Not even week, every single day. It's new injuries every day, bro. By the time the season start, bro, they won't have nobody left, bro. They won't have nobody left, bro. So I think number one, they need to change their medical staff. Whoever's on the medical staff, they need to change that. That's number one.
They suck,
Number
right?
two, Number two, they need to start thinking about restructuring their practices. I know a long time ago we talked about, or not a long time ago, but maybe like a week or so, a couple weeks ago, we talked about practices, about if there should be contact in practices. Well,
Yeah.
now with them having all these injuries, maybe they need to make a change in practices because it all starts in practices. All of these injuries are happening in practice. It's not in games; it's in practice. We're talking about practice. Every single injury. So as a it gets to a certain point, bro, where it's a problem. I
Yeah.
mean, why are all your wide receivers hurt? Why? Mike Evans hurt. Ricky is hurt. Next thing you know, we'll be probably hearing that Debo's hurt. So it's like, and I don't wish injuries on no one, but it's like every single body is hurting around there. It's like they can't keep nobody healthy. So I think the best thing for them to do is rebuild because they don't have nothing to build with right now. Everybody's hurt. All their building pieces are in the IR. They're all in the IR looking to get treatment, looking to get better. So yeah, 49ers are done. It was a good run while y'all had it. It's time to start thinking about the future.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, I agree with you 100%. Things need to be changed. Things need to be addressed. Um, um, it's just too much. What's going on in San Francisco? You got 25 people on IR, and you don't know when they're going to be back for the season. What type of crap are you running here? What type of organization are y'all running? And it's just crazy all the way around. I think you have to look from top to bottom. I think if you're an owner of the 49ers and you have a history of this that you can't get ahead because of injuries and stuff that's going on and hiccups and everything like that, you gotta find the root to the problem, and that's from the top down. You know what I mean? And so I think I do believe that their championship window is over. It's closed. First of all, it was never open. It was never open, brother. In my opinion, it was never open. But I mean, the only reason why I feel like it was kind of open or something like that was because of the talent that they have. But you can. It's true. It's safe to say that they have the talent, but they can't stay healthy, and it's like a sure thing that like no matter what type of talent they have or whatever the case may be, or how much add depth that they have, um, they still is going to be in a jacked up situation because of the injury prone that I guess that they're on. So yeah, that's number one. Number two, I thought about this and long and hard, and I think Brock Purdy should consider leaving the 49ers. Here's why, bro. And I think you should strongly consider about it. I mean, when I mean strongly consider about it, I mean like, yeah, bro, you should really like go in deep in thought. What's up, Greg, bro? How you feeling? But the reason why I said that is because you look at the history of Brock Purdy, and I think since he's been a starter for about 3 years now, 3 years, I believe, right? No, 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 hold it. He was a starter since 2020, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
2020. Okay, so that's 6 years, right? 6 years. So 5 or 6 years. Hold on, I'm looking. Golly. The man is the man is 26 years old, right? He was in the league. He got into the league when he was 20. The man's 26 years old. He turns 27 in December. Um, for those people that like to argue and debate, okay, that Brock Purdy, he's a system quarterback, he's a game manager quarterback or whatever. Okay, cool. The bottom line is that Brock Purdy, we can all agree that Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. Not a great quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. So, in that being said, if you are a good quarterback and you're good enough to, I guess, take your team to the playoffs on a consistent basis, right? And and you can't find a way to get ahead because of what's going on around you. You know what I mean? I feel like that Brock Purdy need a different scenery. I think he need a different area, a different type of scene. And I feel like that he will not succeed in San Francisco. I don't feel like it. I know he's not. He's not going to succeed, and because especially because I feel like the San Francisco 49ers is not going to change nothing because all they see is like, okay, this is the talent that we got. We got a lot of guys in here. You got Trent Williams in here. You got Fred Warner in here. You got Debo in here. You got Mike Evans in here. You got George Kittle in here. You got all these other guys, and the rest. Despite everybody getting hurt, we still got a chance. We still can be the top in the NFC. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you
Yeah,
can't,
I mean,
Palmer.
I ain't gonna lie. I agree with what you're saying, but I disagree that Brock Purdy should go anywhere.
I think he should
It's
because
not.
he's not. I'm saying he's not going to win there.
No, I agree with that statement, but it's harder for quarterbacks to move teams.
What do you
It's
mean?
not easy. It's not easy for starting caliber quarterbacks to go to another team.
Well, when you go look, you look at the teams that need quarterbacks. I
Right, but
guarantee you.
a lot of those teams that need quarterbacks is going to rely on the draft. Realistically,
I mean, well, here's one team that's kind of a established team, whoever the case may be, and he ain't got to go to a rebuild situation. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
yeah, but that's considering if the Steelers won them. Again, Steelers have some young quarterbacks on that roster that's actually pretty good. Now you
But
might
I mean,
not be a believer, but Steelers like the young quarterbacks they got on that team.
what young quarterback? I can't find him.
Will Howard is good. That's number one. And then they got somebody else from that was played at Penn State. If I'm not mistaken, I think is Drew Alar, who was a star at Penn State, who was
Uh,
projected to be a first round pick, but got hurt in college.
well, I ain't hear none of these guys. I never seen them take no snap or none of that. 'Cause Aaron
Because
Rodgers
they
been in the picture.
Drew is a rookie. Will Howard is a rookie last year. I mean, you're not gonna get no snaps over Aaron Rodgers.
Pittsburgh, we all know Pittsburgh needs a new quarterback. Aaron Rodgers,
They
what
do.
can he do?
I don't think Brock Purdy. I don't think Brock Purdy is going nowhere realistically.
I think he
Oh,
should
I'm
force
sorry
to
about
come
that.
out.
You might end up finishing this show by yourself because I gotta leave at 4:30. I
Oh,
got
okay.
10 minutes. I got 10 minutes of you, brother.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah, though. I'm saying like in general though, I feel like that like well, they probably won't let him go, but he should get out because
Mm.
he's not going what you call it. He's not going to win. He's not going to win. He's not. You know what I mean? He's not going to get to where he's going to get to with the team like that.
No,
With
that's
the
I agree with you. I agree. I agree. He's not gonna get nowhere with his team at all. That's why I said I agree with you. The only thing I disagree is I don't think he's gonna go nowhere, no matter what. Because if if it comes down to it, they will pay Brock Purdy.
they already did.
I know. I'm saying they'll pay him again.
Uh,
They'll
so
pay him
basically, he's
again.
going to get much money. Basically,
Yeah. By the time Brock Purdy is out from under contract and no team, every team's gonna already have their quarterback.
yeah. And then by that time, he's going to be kind of old, and
Yeah.
there's
So
no
that's
more.
why I'm like, there's no point of him leaving now. Now you might it's like you got to make the best of out of the situation that you was in.
Unless he can go out and publicly say that he wants to leave, but the thing about it
Yeah.
is he hasn't shown no indication that he wants to leave. So, but
Yeah.
I'm saying
And
I'm Brock
people,
Purdy, huh?
I was gonna say how many people want to pay for that contract too.
We got to see. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, who views Brock Purdy um worthy of good enough to hold on to that contract? That's definitely another question too. Yeah, you're
Exactly.
right.
That's my point.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a rip. Yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, one thing you have to do is you got to bet on yourself.
Hmm.
And so, you know what I mean? And so I think, in Brock Purdy's position, he might be cool about what's the stuff that's going on right now. He might say, okay, man, this is what it is. I'm getting my money, so it's whatever. You know what I mean? That's probably his mentality. But, I don't know his mentality. I don't know his mentality is he want to win or whatever the case may be. But, you know, I don't know. But let us know how you feel about the San Francisco 49ers and their whole entire situation and them being the 49ers handicap team. And how you feel like how far they're gonna go to, even despite the talent they have. I know my man Sean got to go in 7 minutes, so we're gonna do this last topic, and we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah,
But
I'm excited
uh,
for this one. Well, depending on which one it is.
yeah, yeah, this one, yes. So a question, brother: which quarterback, in your opinion, um, has the most pressure and the least amount of pressure heading into this
This is not
season?
the one I was excited for. So
Oh,
I'll be
what was the
excited for.
question? Oh, wait,
But
what's the
we can
question?
do this one. I like this one too though. So
Wait, what was the other
for
question?
the which team gonna be the most shocking?
Oh yeah,
That
all right, we do that Monday. That's
you
cool.
know,
We'll do that
we
Monday.
say that one for Monday because I got a lot to say for that one. So
All right,
as
cool. All
far
right.
as quarterbacks that's under the most pressure and under the least amount of pressure, for me, I don't think there's no quarterback that has the least amount of pressure. I feel like they all have pressure. No matter what team you on, you're gonna all face pressure. But if I had to choose least, I'm gonna say yeah, I can't think of one. Cause I was gonna say Mendoza. That's what I was gonna say, Mendoza, because he's a rookie quarterback. You don't expect a lot from him, but I don't even think he's starting. I think Kirk Cousins is starting. So it's no pressure on him anyway. You feel me? So when it
Mm,
comes to, I guess Kirk Cousins would be the quarterback I would say has the least amount of pressure because they already have the
there's
future
no
quarterback right
pressure,
behind them.
and you really have no expectations for him.
Yeah. Now when it comes to the quarterback with the most pressure, Jay Hurts. Jalen Hurts is in the hot seat.
Ooh.
He's in the hot seat. I mean, every year, every single year, we see them talking about Jalen Hurts needs to be better. Jalen Hurts can't do this. Jalen Hurts can't do that. We see it every year. Can Jalen Hurts do it without AJ Brown? It's a lot of pressure for Jalen Hurts right now, especially because of fans like yourself. Fans like yourself. Happy birthday, Jalen. Fans like yourself, brother.
Oh,
You know,
dang.
when you speak, you hold Jalen Hurts to a high pedestal, and you expect so much, and not just yourself, me as well, because I am on record for saying that I believe that Jalen Hurts will be in the MVP conversation this year. So I feel like when he has a new offense like this, when he has all the pieces that he has, there's no reason why Jalen Hurts shouldn't be putting up numbers. So I think a lot of the most pressure is on him right now. I mean, he's won, and it's crazy because he's won the championships. Or the champ, he won a championship. He's been to multiple Super Bowls. He has the accolades, but somehow he still has to show more. So that's why I say the most pressure is on him because he's done all the great things that you would say could get him to the Hall of Fame, but we still expect more out of him.
Mhm.
We don't say this to any other quarterbacks who would have done the same thing about as Jalen Hurts. Because all the other quarterbacks that we say this about don't have a Super Bowl. Hasn't been to the Bowl. But he's did it multiple times. He's won the Super Bowl and he was the MVP. But we still say Jalen Hurts is in the hot seat and he needs to do more. So yeah. Most pressure for me is Jalen Hurts.
Mhm. Interesting. Um, well, for me, the which quarterback that has the least amount of pressure, I feel like coming into this year. I know you probably will disagree with it, but the only reason why I say this is because of the way his team is assembled. But I think Patrick Mahomes is the least amount of pressure coming on this year. Even though he has been hurt, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean?
You think
You know what I mean? Huh?
you think he got the least amount of pressure? Off
Yeah,
of,
I
and the
mean,
only reason I say The only reason I would disagree with you is because of how they season went last year. That's the only reason why I would disagree. I
Well,
understand him
yeah,
being
that's
the
a fair
best
point.
quarterback.
That's a
Yeah,
fair point.
he is the best quarterback, and he's gonna always be the best, the GOAT. So I get that part, but only because they had such a bad season last year, and that's not what you expect from Patrick Mahomes. That's the only reason why I would say it's he has a lot of he got some pressure on him.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that. That's a fair point. I just feel like because he definitely is the GOAT in this generation, and also when you look at it, the pieces that they assembled this past off season, he literally has a cakewalk for real, for real. To be honest with you. And you got this reigning Super Bowl MVP, and like I'm cracking up CJ Stroud. And so when you look at it from that perspective, I feel like that I think a lot of people I think eyes going to be on Patrick, but not as much as everybody think it's going to be. Only because Patrick is Patrick. You know what I mean? He kind of set his own standard and everything like that. He kind of made his own platform. And so like that, he's in a different dimension than everybody. And so it's like, and then you add those other guys to the puzzle. It's going to make his job way much easier, and it's going to look. It's going to make him look great, and he's not even doing a lot of the work. So, and it should be for overall Kansas City. It should be kind of a cakewalk against winning the division for overall. But that's what I feel like with Patrick Mahomes now. The most pressure at quarterback that I feel like hitting this year is not Jalen Hurts, everybody. Not Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
It's not
I'm
CJ
actually
Stroud.
surprised. So
I know.
yeah.
It's not Jalen Hurts. It's not CJ Stroud. It's Kyler Murray. I feel like he is had the most pressure coming this year. This is a make or break for him. This is the year where he's going to resurrect his uh his um his career, or it's
Mhm.
going to deflate. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of questions about Kyler Murray. Can he do this? Can he do that? Him getting hurt has always been the test and everything like that. And so him getting to a new team, diving into a new process, diving into a new system, it should be refreshing for him, and he should be playing at a good level. But I think this is a make or break for Kyler, because if he does not um, um, play in a good standing point, if he does not play to the status that we accustomed to seeing him going, or at least get a little glimpse of what he was able to produce in the beginning of his career in Arizona, I think his starting career will officially be over, and I think he will now. I think like he will be like be a bench, be a backup for basically the rest of his career if he screwed this joint up. I think this is a make or break for him, for Kyler. Um, you in a new team, different system, and you got more pieces too, so you should be able to thrive. If you can't thrive, because Arizona has, because he was in a bad position in Arizona because they ain't really had nobody. So now you step into a position where you got people and you got pieces, and if he still can't get the job done, Kyler Murray is just going to be a thing of the past. Period. And I'm telling you that right now. Hey, Carlos, what's going on, yo? But yeah, that's my opinion. That's which quarterback I feel like that's has the most pressure and needs to be watched. Um, and so yeah, a lot of people was kind of shocked that I ain't picked Jalen Hurts. I don't think he got the most pressure. What I think who got the most pressure is Kyler Murray. And yeah, so that's my take on that. And that being said, um, that's all the things for today. That's all of the topics for today. Um, Monday we're gonna dive into who you feel like was gonna have this which team you think is gonna have the most shocking team. Is going to be the most shocking team coming into the season. I know Sean was looking forward to that. Um, and that's going to be one of the topics we're going to discuss on Monday. And yeah, Sean, is there anything you want to say, man, before you head on out? You far away from the phone. I'm trying to do it fast, brother. Today is Friday. You mean Monday? Today is Friday. That's all right. It's all right. Monday.
Let me get out of here.
All right, brother, man. I'll see you later on. All right. Sean is out, my man. But yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So that's how it is. Um, we're going to be talking about that. Which team do you think is going to be the most shocking team coming in this season? Um, we'll keep you updated on everything that needs to show and everything on our show, and everything like that. Don't forget September 13th. We're also going to be down at Lincoln Financial Field. We're going to be doing a lot of content and all that type of stuff. So um, be there. You know, we're going to be there. We're going to be out there enjoying vibing festival, everything like that. We're going to be doing a lot of things. So September 13th, if you're in the Philadelphia area and stuff like that, What's the word podcast will be there. We're going to be interviewing people. We're going to be interviewing fans, all types of stuff. We're going to be doing all types of stuff, and so I'm very very excited for this season to kick off. We really going to be going outside and really really interact with the people, and like I said, we do more than just podcasting. And we out there and just be out there with the community as well. And so we appreciate everybody that's on, that came on today. We thank y'all. You guys have a great, 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 great weekend. We'll see you on Monday, same place, same time. It's your boy Manny Fresh all day. It's the Word Sports Podcast. You're watching. Peace and blessings. Take care. God bless.